moment, like to breakfast at a cafe. Then we went back to the cabin and sat in the hot tub, and then we like watched a Disney movie and went to bed at 9.
Gotcha. Okay, we're good to go, by the way. So just be quiet.
Goth Yearbook after hours.
Oh, sorry about that, folks. Good evening and welcome to another exciting episode of Goth Yearbook After Hours. It is I, your host, as always, Eric, aka the Eric Wynn. And with us, as always, before I introduce her, in fact, as some of you may know, if you've been following along on the Instagram, you might know that me and this certain someone finally met this week. That's right. I'm talking about my Peloton bike, which did arrive yesterday. I know you've all been anxiously wondering about that. The
I can't do
Peloton
the
bike
show anymore.
Peloton bike did arrive. It's all good. Oh, by the way, co-host with my host Caitlin D. Caitlin, how's it going?
What's up?
How's it
Yes.
cruel summering?
So yeah, Eric and I met for the first time in person. And we did not record a show in person because I was on vacation and I don't do stuff like that on vacation.
That's right.
It's called boundaries. It's also just part of being really lazy. And needing time to relax for my grueling 4-day-a-week work week.
Actually, we never really talked about that. I do want to
Yeah.
point out for the listener that like a month or two ago, whenever it was, when Caitlin reached out to me to be like, hey, I'm going to be up in your neck of the woods. Let's kick it. What you said, in fact, was hey, you were like, hey, how come I've never been on the radio show? I'm going to be up there in a month. I want to be on it.
And then I went up there and I was there the same night that he does the radio show. And I was like, I can't make it. It's like 40-minute drive. I'm nestled in the woods of
man,
Burnville, Russian River Valley.
Too funny. But yeah, how was it being up in my neck of the woods? Oh, we did want to talk about, so you know, me and my wife, we went and met Caitlin. We had dinner. We brought mediocre pizza.
It was okay.
Yeah, that was a real bummer. The spot that I wanted to bring was closed, was unanticipated. But when I came up there, I have my grandpa's old Polaroid camera. I was so excited to take some co-host
And I
pictures.
also brought a Polaroid camera.
And a lot of for the 2.5 hours that we hung out, it was spent with Caitlin and I each on our respective Polaroids trying to make them work.
Yeah, mine didn't work because the batteries corroded. Even though I didn't keep them in the camera, I kept them in like a safe place, I thought. And Eric we took like 12 different Polaroids on his grandfather's camera or whatever, and each of them turned out darker than the last.
Yeah. Do you
Um,
do you have the copy of the one?
so we have this beautiful memory set.
Uh,
You can see us really happy to finally be meeting. And for the listener who's listening, maybe, on
Yeah.
an audio format, it is an absolutely black Polaroid with like
one
two
light, two lights.
glimmers of lights. It looks similar to like when someone's like, I have proof that I saw a UFO.
Yeah, this is like Lacey will be like, this is proof that they met. No one will believe her, but she'll be like, no, I swear, look, it's between the lights.
But we did get one kind of cool, like what looks like it would be on like a Dateline or missing person sort of photo where we're both very blurry and
Yeah.
it's very dark. And then I also have one on a disposable camera that will be developed probably in time for our show's 10-year anniversary. And we also did do the sensible thing and take photos with our phones.
Yep.
So we have those memories forever.
Absolutely. Speaking of the Dateline photo, actually, so I feel like the one Polaroid that we did get was kind of like the Sasquatch sighting photo.
Yeah.
And the Dayline photo is actually the one he showed me. Two great ones that your buddy took of you. One is you just like happy trails walking away, and the other one's the one you showed me of like Jordan taking like a selfie, your friend, and like you just way in the background being like, which very much had like the makings of a Dateline 2020, like, and they never saw her again.
I don't know. I thought those were happy-go-lucky. But
Those
either way,
are typically the.
I
the
guess so.
Dateline is
Yeah.
always like the happy-go-lucky, like I'm going into the woods.
Right. As long as
Oh.
it's like a white person.
Yeah.
Um,
For the listener at home, Caitlin is a white person.
I am a white person. Yeah. So I had a good
You talk about
time.
Polaroids a lot, so.
I not only communed with the spirit of the forest, but I
Yeah,
also watched Princess Mononoke for the first time, where I
Mhm.
wasn't asleep for most of it, and that was amazing. And then I watched Raya and the Last Dragon. Lots of movies right now, and I liked this. And I know Princess Mononoke isn't new, but it's cool that like so many movies are focused on this whole like demons are created by hatred and human suffering, and you have to show trust and compassion to defeat them. And that's the only way to bring us back into harmony with the environment. And I'm like, this is great. This is a wonderful message. I support it. So Disney,
Shouts out messages.
yeah, really small studio, just trying to make a dime. So don't give them your $30 on Amazon Prime, another struggling company in the pandemic, to watch Raya and the Last Dragon, so you can learn why all the environmental devastation is a result of your human suffering.
Wow. Looking forward to it. Another smash hit from the Disney Vault.
Yeah.
Well, great. It sounds like you did a lot of cool shit. Sounds like a very productive weekend.
Should we touch on Cruel Summer at all, or
Maybe next week. Maybe we'll hit a little
Yeah.
bit more, but next week. Caitlin and I did start Cruel Summer for all you freeform heads out there. We have a lot of thoughts about it. We haven't even shared with each other yet, really, our thoughts
that might
about
have
it.
to be, yeah.
We'll have to
Maybe we
save it
can
for
do
next week.
Instagram live sessions on that or something.
Yeah, I like that.
Because it's a Hulu show. It's set in the 90s. It's set specific. It's one of those time hopping shows where
Mhm.
they are showing 3 different time periods, and it's kind of cutting between all of them. And they're showing what timeline or what, not different timelines. It's not like that.
It's like each episode's like the same day between 93, 94, and 95.
Right. And they're distinguishing them by like what filter they put on the
Yeah.
lighting. And
It's funny because like
and
94,
the
95, yeah, the
also
haircuts too.
haircuts.
94 and 95 where things are a little bit like darker, tenser. It's like the filter barely like it's just like all of a sudden turns everything's like cold, gray, drabby. But then for like the last year 95, it's like, well, let's make it that same thing with just like shadows everywhere. Like no one paid for their PG&E bill in 1995 apparently.
Yeah. And it's about like two girls, and one of them goes missing, and the other one kind of like she like starts dating the girl's boyfriend because she was like a nerd, and the girl that went missing was popular, and she like becomes the popular girl basically.
Yeah,
And
it kind of takes
it's
over
like,
her life.
yeah, and it's a mystery, but it's not normal.
Yeah.
And it's like one of those cool borderline shows where it's like kind of like a crime thing, but it's not like super gruesome at all. It's more like psychological mystery kind of thing, but it's
Yeah.
fun because it's set in the 90s and it's teenagers, so I find it very relatable.
Yeah.
And lots of cool like music too in the show that they
Yeah.
used from the 90s.
Definitely.
Anyway, so watch Cruel Summer. We're doing a lot of
Yeah.
promotion for stuff
Sign
that
up
we
for
don't.
Hulu special code Goth Yearbook.
Another struggling company in the
Yeah.
pandemic. All right, whatever.
I think that's it. I think
Yeah.
we've done our due diligence promoting everything except our own show.
Oh, I just got a match on a dating app. So hang on.
Which one? We can also shout out that dating app.
Yeah. It was. I'm not gonna say. 'Cause I don't want to say what dating apps I'm on. I
Fair
will
enough.
say I'm banned from most of them.
Fair enough. Well, on that note, always a great segue. Let's get our guest for the evening into the room. We have with us special guest telecommuting all the way from Los Angeles, Southern California. We have pop icon, I'm going to call it, Whitney Ty joining us this evening. Whitney, if you can hear me, please feel free to astral project yourself into the room. There she is.
Oh, hello.
Oh, that was.
I'm here.
You might
Welcome.
you might be surprised to hear this, but that might have been one of the smoothest we've done yet.
Oh, very nice. I think it's all the promo you guys did in the beginning. It just like there's these waves coming in. They're like, oh, money, sponsorship. And while I start, I'm going to say you can save 10% by switching to Geico right now.
Yeah, I do want to go ahead and say we have 0 sponsorships. I don't know what that was all about. Maybe we're just completely hypnotized, brainwashed into just like promoting products for things we don't have money for.
Hey, I think this year might have been like no harm, no foul to anyone who was kind of like lured in this year. I think this was like probably the easiest year for any company to prey on anyone realistically, as far as like reel them in with products and entertainment and this and that and shit. More power to us for
You got a
indulging.
Peloton.
Yeah, a year after, like way too late, mind you. Like I was real late to that one. I was like, as my gym's like opening up, I'm like, should I? That's how long it takes me to make like a finite like financial decision like that in my life. I'm like, okay, like right as my fucking gym starting to like message me like your card's not going through.
You know, I think gyms should just be for single people from now on.
Yeah, I agree. Well, Whitney, how are you doing this evening?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm doing swell. How are you guys doing? Thank you for having me on.
You're so welcome. Yeah.
Thank you for being on the show. By the
No,
way,
I'm excited. I'm really like kind of entranced by Caitlin's mood lighting. It's
Oh,
feeling
thank
very
you.
zen.
Yeah, I went over this in a recent episode, but I do have this light where it's like I like to get these light bulbs that you can program with like a Bluetooth on your phone, and you can do like any color on the light spectrum. And this app is my favorite because it has a color wheel, but like
Ooh.
all the colors are labeled different emotions, and most of them, it's weird because on this app most of them are negative. It's like cranky, aggravated, nervous, anxious, concerned, worried, afraid.
I like that they've put like emotions attached to the colors. It
All
does well,
horrible.
it just
All
to make you
negative,
feel better.
too.
I'm using a cactus as a light source.
oh, I like the cactus.
Yeah.
See, we're like bringing the elements because I have a neon clamshell.
Oh,
Shit.
nice. I also have a Himalayan sea salt thing over here too. So
No light comes
Wonderful.
from him, but he watches over all I do.
he's emanating from within. That's what
Him.
matters.
And a very tiny version of him.
For the listeners that are
yeah.
on the audio format, Eric showed his lucky cat.
Yeah.
Oh,
I feel bad saying this, but I honestly don't know what those cats are called, the like waving ones.
I
But
think they're lucky cats.
that's just it.
That's
Okay.
what I always called it. Maybe that was just like a family thing. I don't know.
I
It's a
call
lucky
them my
cat.
And my
children.
French press carafe is giving me, energy from within, which is also a light source.
There we go. Let's do more visual stuff.
Oh, and actually, Whitney, for the listener at home, Whitney did just show off a really beautiful cup too, I must say.
Oh, thank you.
The mug.
This cup?
Yeah, that mug.
Oh, I love this mug. I just got it in Burbank. It's like this cute little store of housewares and candles and shit, like cute stuff. But it's hand painted.
Like IKEA.
No,
Like this
it's not IKEA.
sweet this little spot. Whitney, we did get actually like a boatload of questions if you'd like to dive on in.
Oh, you got a buttload.
Yeah, I said a
Cool.
boatload, but a buttload works too.
I couldn't tell if it was an accent or not.
That's just me. I got the mush mouth. I mumble a lot of my words, unfortunately.
Remember that disassociation thing I was talking about is happening. I think I need to dock in.
That's fine. That's cool.
This first question, I just loved this one. It's such a random would you rather, but I love it. It's really beautiful. Someone wanted to know, would you rather have a unicorn as a pet or be a unicorn?
Dang, I feel like it's a lot of pressure to be a unicorn. Like everybody expects a lot from you. You have to be like a stuffed animal. You have to be like on a TV show. You have to do all the things.
Yeah. If there was like a real unicorn that just like popped out of the mist, like Oprah would have it on that week. Like there'd be so many celebrity interviews happening with the unicorn. There would be a lot of pressure. He would be like at the ribbon cutting ceremonies and all that throughout the world.
I think I just want one just so I could admire its beauty and just talk to it and see what it's thinking about. Because like, who the hell knows what unicorns are thinking about most of the time?
Yeah.
I bet cool, colorful things because they've got the horn.
Yeah.
So
the unicorn.
All kinds
the
of
unicorn. I love that.
What were you gonna say, Kaylin?
I'm thinking about all of this. There's a lot to think about.
What would you choose?
Well, I like that in Whitney's like universe, the unicorn like, and I wonder what it says. I'm like wondering therapeutically what it says about you, like psychologically. You're like, if I was the unicorn, it would be like you would have like a job, But if you had a pet, like the pet would just like, I don't think it would have a job. Like, so
it stays pure.
Yeah, would you keep it hidden? So I don't know. You'll have to talk about that with your therapist. But I think I would. That is tough because I do want to know more context about the question, but we don't have the listener here.
We have no context.
I'm gonna also go with having the unicorn as a pet. Because I just think it would be. I would have just a horse as a pet. So
Yeah, that's true.
I just think that would be most excellent. And I'm guessing unicorns, like, you don't have to really clean up after them. I imagine they just like
shit rainbows,
sparkles and rainbows. Yeah. Or like chamomile tea or something.
Yeah.
Chamomile tea.
Oh,
exactly.
Whitney, what's your sign out of curiosity?
I'm a Capricorn.
Capricorn.
Oh,
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe that makes sense why you would all of a sudden like start thinking about all the like duties
the job,
and
the
tasks,
responsibilities.
of the
guess-
unicorn.
I just don't want the unicorn to become subject to like corporate like takeover. Like I don't want it to. It shouldn't have to conform to the system. Like it's so pure.
Yeah, the unicorn shouldn't be coming on a podcast talking about watch Cruel Summer on Freeform Tuesdays at 10. No, we don't want that of the unicorn either.
No.
Someone wanted to know, when did you first know you wanted to make music?
It's weird. I don't think there was ever like a state of knowing. I think I just did it from as long as I could. My parents always heard me singing all the time and writing poetry and trying to make verse since I was little. So it's just, I think it was just part of my ebb and flow of how I operate. So
Yeah.
I think when I realized that I was like connected to music was as a child, because I used to write like my own little screenplays and I would like act all the characters out in the screenplay because I was lacking on actors. So I had to do it all myself. But it was fun because I used to get into the dialogue and then we'd break out into song. Well, I would break out into song. And then there was like a play going on. So it was just like, and then my dad had built me like this little ladder in our backyard and behind this like really tall bush. And it was almost like my little tree house, but it was like a tree hall. It wasn't even like a house.
The tree theater.
Yeah.
Tree theater. And I would climb to the top of the ladder and I would serenade out over my rock garden and my pool. And that was kind of when I just started realizing that music was kind of a thing.
Nice. Do you remember
Sounds
what any of those
amazing.
early plays were?
I have no idea. I wrote a song when I was like 9 years old called Sheer Ecstasy, and I still like
Whoa. Holy shit.
and I still remember the lyrics. I wrote it down, like I have it, and it's like I sang it for someone recently and they were like, "You wrote this when you were 9?" I was like, I'm strange.
That's an advanced, like just the title alone is pretty goddamn advanced.
That's
for a
nothing.
9-year-old.
The other one was called Paranormal Feelings.
That's incredible. Oh, I'd love to. Do you still remember like the sort of, I don't know, bare bones of the songs?
Oh my God. It was like the Sheer Ecstasy was like, gazing through green pastures, lonely winters freeze. Over the rainbow, across the meadow, daffodils blow in the breeze. That's
Oh,
kind of,
Holy shit.
that was the song.
That's
I thought I might have referenced rainbows in there, which would have been unicorn-esque, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Wow, that's incredible.
yeah, for real. At 9, wow, if I had been tasked with writing a song at 9, it would not have come out like that, that's for sure. It would have been very like, I don't know, bodily function type stuff. And very just rhymey, just like all of the pressure being on the rhyme more than anything else.
Like fart beatboxing.
Yeah, exactly. I will say, I do recall, I have 2 older sisters. I was the baby, and they didn't like they would put on plays. They would do like a lot of like dance routines. That was the big thing in my house. They would like put on Janet Jackson, and they would like make up like
Nice.
dance routines and stuff. But I do remember they used to play soap opera, and they would create a lot of like these worlds based on like soap opera-esque like storylines. And since I was like a little toddler, I was always like, as a kid or as an adult, I still remember like one of the few things I remember from that time was like they would like pass me around and be like, no, now actually we found out that he is the secret child of me and like Ricardo, and like really intricate worlds all based on like them basically snatching me back and forth between one another and being like, no,
Wow.
actually it's my secret child that I gave up for adoption all those years ago. So shouts out Mari and Dana. Thank you for having me be a part of your wonderful creations. Caitlin, you were also the
yeah.
youngest. Did you ever have anything like that?
Yeah, I did I did write and act in and direct like a 2-hour, it was
Whoa,
kind of like
epic.
an SNL kind of thing, because we would like it was me and my sister, and we did like Fropra. It was like it was like 2 hours of television. It was honestly really similar to SNL, and I was probably like 8 or 9 or something. It was called Duh. And
Oh shit, I like that.
Nice.
That's a good
yeah,
one.
and we had like Fropra, and and like
That's really
different
good.
different commercials and stuff, and everything was a spoof on a TV show. I wish I could remember like more details, but yeah, we had Fropra was very like Jerry Springer-esque, and it was decent. I will say it was decent. And one of them,
Reviews.
I was one of those like lawyers, that's like, I can get you out of
Yeah.
legal trouble, like whatever.
That's pretty good.
That's awesome.
It's so funny that I did end up in radio, because I do recall I used to have a little like kid version of like a cassette recorder type thing, and I would record songs onto it from the radio and stuff like that. I recorded one cassette was specifically, I might have talked about this before, but it was like Baby Got Back like 3 times in a row. The baddie rap rather from Ferngully, the one that like Ron Williams says, he's like, I've been electrified, blah, blah, blah. I don't even know words. And like I do like little radio DJ things in between like each song. I'd be like, oh shit, coming up next we got the fucking, obviously I didn't say all that, but we got the baddie rap from Ferngully. Take a listen, shit like that. But
Good evening. This is
yeah. my worldview of like songs though is so limited. It was literally those two songs, and I think the other one was "All I Want to Do Is a Boom Boom Boom" and that song. Which like very sexual songs, a lot about like big asses and shit that I was listening to as like a fucking 6-year-old. But that's what time was like back then. Very lawless time to be a kid. Someone wanted to know. Oh, that's actually funny because the next question was, what was the first original song you ever wrote?
Oh.
Very interesting.
That was the one.
It's so funny. Sometimes we get kind of repeat questions from repeat people, but someone wanted to know, who was your favorite teacher in high school?
Oh my God.
And what if it was your teacher that sent that in? And
I know, it's like a test. You better say me. High school, I have to say my favorite teacher was a woman named Miss Vetrano. She was my honors English teacher.
Oh, nice.
She was so adorable, like the sweetest, just the sweetest. Like, I feel like back then she could have been an Instagram influencer.
Really?
She always came in with like the cutest makeup, and like she always looked like so well put together. And like I went to an all-girl high school, so like you can imagine the hormones in this classroom just of like what she had to deal with. And
especially
yeah,
like
it was
English, where like depending on what you're reading to, like very evocative depending on
exactly. Oh, and it was the Scarlet Letter. So
oh
it was
yeah,
very evocative.
We did the Scarlet Letter in high school, and everyone had like filmed different scenes from it. My scene, I'm not gonna remember the guy's name now, but he's like the older creepy gentleman who he looks at the guy's like vest or whatever, and he sees that he also has a Scarlet Letter, and he starts like freaking out, being like ooh. And of course, being like 14 or 15, like I just took that performance over the top. So like we actually did like only like real dialogue and real scenes from the book for about like 1 minute, and then it was a solid 9 minutes of me freaking out and like rolling around the ground and just freaking out about this guy's Scarlet Letter and I don't know, we might have gotten like a B or C on it.
Like, and now it's gonna be 5 minutes of just me.
Yeah, exactly. Just total stealing. Caitlin, do you remember who your favorite high school
teacher?
Yeah.
I feel awful because I honestly am really bad at remembering teachers' names. But I also feel like it's fine because they probably don't remember my name. I did have an English teacher senior year of high school that was like a very classic. He was kind of more of a classic college professor, but he was always drinking at school.
What?
And
in high school? Like not like a college professor situation?
Whoa. Yeah, out of his like coffee thermos.
Oh my God.
Drunk. But he was like one of those old like bristly, like bearded, like tweed coat, like philosophy, like kind of dudes. And my senior year of high school, we did for AP English, I think it was like it was like Brothers Karamazov and the Bible and different and that kind of thing. And
right.
It was the class was incredible. He was really good at like engaging us and getting us to like think about things really deeply. I didn't know he was really drunk all the time until like later, I think maybe. And then I think the coolest thing about him, it wasn't even something that was because like for me, but it was, he had this thing with, he had a niece or something that went to the school, or a grandchild or something. And she was like in first grade or in kindergarten, or she was really small. And he would like walk with her every day from the upper campus to the lower campus, because I had one of those crazy schools that was like kindergarten through senior year of high school. And he, every single day, it sounds kind of scary actually saying it now, but he like made her do something that she was scared of. But like not
Eleanor
like weird
Roosevelt
stuff.
thing?
Not like weird stuff, but like he would make her like go up to a group of football players and say hi or something, you know?
What?
And like just kind of like
That's so creepy.
Of all examples you did.
Here, let me sexualize this child.
No, it wasn't sexualizing her at all. It was like she was just a kid walking up. These boys were like nice, 16-year-old high school boys. They weren't like sexualizing this
Okay,
child.
good.
It was just like because she would be shy and afraid to talk to people. And honestly, I can see that being an important lesson as you're like growing older, to be like, oh, just walk up to a group of people and say hello, and like don't be intimidated by them just because they're but know each other, you know.
Right.
Maybe it ended up with her just going to college and walking into frat houses and be like, hi,
Please
I'm
point me
new
in the
here.
direction of the college football team, please.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
I'd love to have her on the as a guest on the show and see like what.
how that worked out.
Oh dear.
Yeah, her alcoholic grandfather just made her do something scary every day. It was super inspiring and chill. No, I know in the context of like today's world, it does not sound cool, but I just thought it was nice.
Yeah. No, you know what?
Challenging her to be brave.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like it. Someone wants to know, what is your favorite song to get pumped up to?
Can you repeat that again? You cut out.
What someone wanted to know what your favorite song is to get pumped up to get amped
Oh,
up,
Damn.
excited. You got a lot of pumped up jams yourself, honestly.
Yeah, I know. Oh Christ, this is tough because I listen to so much stuff. I feel like when I want to get like in a vibe, lately I've been listening to the Fontaines.
Oh, nice. Oh,
I
yeah.
lo-
Fuck yeah.
I just love their like I don't give an F attitude, like F the system. Like
You can
this
curse
is
on the show, by the way, if you'd like to.
I know, I'm just being
Okay.
polite if there's children. Oh, yeah, I've just been listening to their recent record.
Great record.
Yeah, it's a really good record. I was sad that they didn't win a Grammy, but
I didn't know that they were
maybe.
up for a Grammy. Holy shit.
yeah,
Or holy
I was
S.
like shocked too. I was like, oh, this is cool. They totally deserve to be in that running. I thought it was pretty cool.
Nice.
I also like to get jiggy to like Tame Impala. I kind of like the vibes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you know.
Kevin Parker, that guy as a producer, he is unreal, truly.
Yeah. He really makes me want to dance. And Rihanna, I love getting like when I used to work in the city, we used to like do Rihanna Fridays, and we used to just blast Rihanna at work, and
Nice.
just yeah.
I have a very special place in my heart for Rihanna, and that would be my go-to. What about you, Eric?
Fuck. It would really depend on what I was getting like pumped up for. Tame Impala is actually a great answer because I do listen to them to get like in a really good mood, a pumped up kind of mood. If it's Run the Jewels, I love their stuff. A lot of their stuff, especially from their second album, like really gets me fucking hyped up, ready to go. I'm trying to think of anything else that's like immediately comes to mind. You know what? As like cheesy as it sounds, like a band like a group like Daft Punk and some of that like 2000s
hell yeah.
French house type stuff, like them, Justice, stuff like that. To this day, that stuff still has a way of getting me going. Kanye West, who very controversial figure, but a lot of his music, his song "Power," like I don't know how you can't not feel pretty pumped up when you hear that song.
I like the Flashing Lights song. That one always gets me
Oh.
pumped up too.
Yeah, that's a great song. Yeah.
Isn't Rihanna in that song?
No, that it
You
was
think of All the Lights. All of
Oh,
the lights,
yeah.
all of the lights.
Yeah, yeah.
No, Flashing Lights has that. Yeah.
No,
that
I know. I
fucking
know which
synth
one.
is
I
so
was just
sick, like that.
mixing them up. Yeah.
I think there's like isn't there like
Flashing.
there's a gorgeous singer on that track. I forgot her name.
There
Oh my
is.
God.
There is a woman on there who's doing, because
Yeah.
it's whoever's doing like the flashing lights.
Yeah,
Lights.
yeah. Lights. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess now I'm feeling all pumped up. Shit. Someone wants to know, what is your dream music collaboration?
Oh, it's kind of tough because he passed away. Can we pick dead people too?
Oh, absolutely.
It's a dream.
I've always wanted to work with Chris Cornell. I feel like I would have loved
Oh, shit.
to write a song with him, or to just perform with him. It was just, or Lane Staley. Both of them are like
Yeah.
my vocal heroes. So
That's his vocals, Lane especially. Oh my gosh, they really are so good to this day. I still think about it all the time. What out of curiosity, what did you listen to a lot of in high school or like in junior high and high school? Like what were you getting kind of inspired by back then?
oh geez. To be honest, I was actually listening to a lot of like Euro dance I really loved a lot of the dance music that was coming out of Europe that people didn't really listen to here in the US. And I used to like go on a lot of like websites to find like what was the cool like house music that was coming out in like Germany and France and everything. So,
Nice.
but I also listened to a lot of heavy metal. Like I like, actually one of my favorite bands in high school was Raw. And
Oh, nice.
I love Sahaj's music. He's like one of my favorite songwriters, and I just, to this day, he still has like a heavy influence like on me, I feel like, as an artist. So I was definitely heavy into him too growing up.
I like that. I just like, I enjoy it because I'm not sure like when you were going to high school, but I feel like I also was looking up a lot of like Euro dance stuff back in my time, and it was like so because I guess I was a little bit Napster came out like when I was a little bit younger, but like Napster through Kazaa, that was like such a golden era to look up like Euro type stuff, because oftentimes it's what you would get even if you weren't looking for it. You'd look up like Metallica 1 and you'd get like a German Euro kind of dance song anyway, so you'd be like, well, fuck it, I guess I'll listen to this instead.
I mean, even like Britney Spears, like they like Hex Hector was doing like remixes of Britney Spears songs back then, and I was like, this is cool, like this is like, and it was like stuff you wouldn't find just, you know, anywhere. You have to really dig for it.
I know. I do. There's so many. And so when you go back now and excavate like all these old singles from back in like the 80s and 90s, where when they first were kind of like getting into the idea of like doing like remixes on the singles and like club versions, and so funny because sometimes it would just be like a 4 on the floor beat put over the song, which is like, sure, I guess that's like the club version of it. But you do find a lot of these cool, especially like, I don't know, bands like Nine Inch Nails and New Order, stuff like that. There's a lot of crazy great remixes that were done back in like the 90s on like their singles and 80s that I'm really glad were preserved in time, because it did used to be very hard to find that stuff. You had to be really lucky to find even on the internet. And now it's pretty much like free for all. You can find whatever the hell you want these days. But man, growing up, it used to be a real treat if you'd find one and it was a really legit remix.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are great collaborators. What about you, Caitlin? Rihanna? Would that be your dream collaboration?
Oh no, I don't think I would touch anything with Rihanna. I feel like that would be a disaster. But
you're like trying to like plug it. You're like plugging your. She sees like studios. You're plugging your guitar and like, look at my like seashell that lights up.
Yeah, like, just not on her level at all. Johnny Cash. It's ever.
Oh
yeah. That would be an absolute dream. I can play all the guitar chords he can play, which are 5 of them. And I also only write, it's like his songs are simple, they're stories, and it's all about like his voice and his soul coming through in it. And I've talked about it a lot on this podcast, but he's totally like a spirit guide of mine. And so I would 100% hands down want to write and perform and tour the world and marry Johnny Cash.
I love that.
That's quite the collaboration.
He's amazing.
We're talking about dreams, Eric.
Yeah, I just like that you're like, well, we've already toured the world. Come on, let's do this.
Yeah. Who would you host a radio show with?
Oh, fuck. That's a great question.
If anyone in the world could replace me.
Who could replace you immediately? Like, I have like 5 answers ready to go. Like, well, let's see. I would have I don't know. That's
well, if she has transcended into unicorn form, then the unicorn can take your place.
Yeah.
You know what?
Still be you.
You know what? It's so hard to think who I would want. That's like a celebrity that'd be fun, because immediately my mind goes to like friends of ours. I'm like, oh, it'd be fun to have like like Scotch or Will or Rachel.
Matt Scotch would be difficult, right?
Yeah. No offense to our friend Matt, but yeah, that is very true. He'd be like hanging upside down. You'd see like his head somehow like Spider-Maning into this thing. Shouts out.
He'd like come out of a coffin for the beginning of the episode. Like, Matt, I love this, but it is a podcast.
You get stuck in there like shit, like Spinal Tap when they can't get out of their little pods.
You're like Joe Rogan.
Yeah. Elon Musk.
God.
Come on down, buddy. Someone wants to know a lot of dream questions, I've noticed, but this person,
I love this.
Yeah.
Cool.
Someone wants to know, what's your dream bathroom look like? Not dream like your thing. I realized I was kind of weird.
A gas station bed. No, I'm just kidding. You know, I actually really love like the Turkish and like Moroccan style bathrooms.
Oh, yeah.
yes.
I want
Amazing.
patterns and glass and jewel tones and light and just refractions, and I want to feel like I'm in a dream. And
I love that.
yeah, I love like those azul, like dark blues and like the emerald greens. And yeah, I could picture that being, and then having a really, really beautiful like sculptural tub that literally is made out of, I don't know, travertine or something.
Damn, that's like you had like a answer all the way through. That was great. I don't.
It
Wow,
probably
that's
doesn't help that I'm a
amazing.
designer.
Oh, there you go.
Okay. So you've thought about this before.
Many times.
Yeah. I love that. When you said gas station bathroom, it reminded me, I don't know if anyone remembers S Club 7, that like Australian like
Club. Yeah, I remember that
television
shit.
pop group.
Yes, I remember.
They had
Ain't no party
they had
like an
a
S
TV
Club
show
party.
or a movie.
They had a
Yeah,
TV show. They probably had movies too.
Yeah, there was some scene in it, and they like stopped on the road and at this like shitty gas station, and they went into the bathroom all expecting it to be terrible, and it was like this gorgeous, luxurious like marble bathroom with a bathtub, and like she ended up spending like hours in it, and they were like, "What's going on in there?" And she's like taking a bubble bath. Like,
Oh God.
So every time I go in a gas station bathroom now, I'm like, maybe this is the one.
We're always hoping there's like a portal to another bathroom through that bathroom.
Yeah, seriously. I'll just mentally project myself into a different space.
Exactly.
I do always say though, because I have this apartment where like much of it is beautiful, the bathroom is not so much, especially the tub. It's like a beautiful tub, but for some reason it looks like someone took a clawfoot tub and built really bad like drywall around it or
Ugh.
something, and then laid like pieces of tile that didn't fit, and like barely like a ton of that what is that filling stuff, you guys?
Caulk.
Yeah.
Caulking. Yeah, and just like got it, it's like all bubbly and everywhere and stuff. It's just horribly done. And
Maybe it was your drunk professor that did your bathroom.
maybe it was like, I want you to do something every day that scares you, and that's take a bath in this bathtub. But I always say, if I close my eyes, I could be in any bathtub in the world.
Oh,
I'm taking a bath, so
it's all
There you go.
mental. The universe works mentally.
Or maybe we're just mental.
just deeply in denial.
It's actually, I swear I'm not making this up, but there is a funny tie-in to another. I'm going to skip ahead to a different question because it ties in very well. But someone wants to know, if you only had $10 to spend at a gas station mini mart, what would you buy?
Ooh. I would probably buy those like, what happens if it's less than $10? Can I buy a few things?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah,
buy two of them.
yeah.
I
Like
would buy those peach jelly rings because I'm obsessed with those things.
Okay.
I would probably get a coconut water because every time I drive, I'm like super dehydrated.
Nice.
And then maybe like that Chex Mix with the with the chocolate in it. You know?
Nice.
Yeah. I like that. Those are good answers. I like they have like the puppy chow Chex Mix, which is like the peanut butter chocolate and white powder, sugar powder.
I
Ooh.
don't like that one. That new one they came out with.
Oh, you don't?
No.
Oh, I love it. So
Oh, it's an abomination to the previous one.
good.
That was the peanut one, where they call it the
Yeah.
Strong opinions tonight.
Whitney, I'm sorry that we're going to the show. This has been great.
I still love you.
Eric, what's your gas station $10 remix?
Okay. It depends. If I'm like on the road and I'm like driving through kind of thing, I don't care how wasteful it is. I love if I'm like driving like I-5 or something like that going down to LA, getting like a big ass, whatever it might be, like a smart water or some shit like that. Just one of those huge ones where you're just like, because I feel like I can kind of like, I like it when compared to like when I bring my own water bottle, like when it's like the see-through and I can kind of like see it going down and I can track the ride with it. It's kind of hard to explain. It's like a mental thing, but I love that. Definitely
Sure.
Ben and Jerry's.
Ooh.
Probably the. I
You're
don't
gonna
know.
eat Ben and Jerry's in the
Say
car?
fish food, or we're not friends.
Fish food was my first love of Ben and Jerry's, and still to this
Okay.
day one of my favorites. And I do love the new American Cyclone, whatever it's called, American Cyclone or whatever. It's that one that's, I forget if it's Stephen Colbert or Jimmy Fallon, but it's one of the two of them that's on it. What else do I love from gas stations? I love so much. The Take 5 is one of my favorite candy bars.
Yes.
I love
I
it.
was gonna say you're probably already almost to $10 with a giant Smart
Yeah.
Water and a Ben and Jerry's. You gotta chill out.
You're $1 over budget. You're cut
Yeah.
off.
That's all you get.
What about you, Kaylin?
Snickers, salt and vinegar chips, and sparkling water.
Wow.
I like you. You're classy.
Yeah.
That's like a solid answer.
Yeah.
That smile is so
Snickers is
cute.
my
Like,
vibe.
it is.
Oh, Snickers is the only candy bar I liked, and I just like. Yeah, I'm a sucker for sparkling water. I know it's stupid, but yeah, I know it's stupid.
Sparkling water does not quench. Like, I feel like it's like a never-ending quest to like quench my thirst with sparkling
Yeah.
water, and it never happens. Like, I feel like I'm being teased or something for something that never arrives.
Well, if it's a long trip, I mean, even if it's not a long trip, I always have like a full bottle of water, like my hydro flask anyway. So
Yeah.
that it's just like a treat.
Yeah. I like sparkling water after espresso. I feel like it gives like that salty crisp, like to kind of cleanse the palate. That sounds
Yeah.
good.
I've never thought of that.
Yeah, they serve it like that in a lot of places.
That's good. I going to say, okay, so I kind of skipped ahead. I'm going to jump back a couple real quickly. Someone wanted to know, do you know what the theme of your next album is going to be?
Ooh, I feel like I know who this question might be coming from.
Oh shit.
It's really interesting. Like there's a lot. This album is completely different than my last two. It's very intimate. It's very woodsy. It's very shoegazy and
Oh, nice.
I want to say Americana-esque, but
Nice.
it's my take on what that would be.
Yeah.
Kind of like a pop, folk, indie rock Americana. But it's nice because like everything is very light and spacious and dreamy, and I'm stoked about
That sounds
it.
lovely.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm super excited. Like I'm really enjoying like being in the writing process of this one. It's kind of like it's like getting on the shrooms without getting on the shrooms. I feel like I'm high on the music and I don't need anything to like get me there.
That's great. It's a
Nice.
good spot to be. Same effect anyway. It's just lighting up neural pathways.
Yep.
So someone wanted to know, their question cut out, but I think what they were trying to ask is essentially is that what was it like releasing an album during COVID? If I'm not mistaken, this one dropped like, what was it, like May, June of last year?
June. Yeah.
So I'm assuming you probably recorded it way before then. Before.
Yeah, we finished around like mastering the record around like Christmas time.
Oh wow, okay.
And I was set to do a debut show. So what happened was we finished mastering everything, and then I dropped a couple of singles, and we were going to do a release party at the Moroccan Lounge with Pussy Jones
Oh wow.
and the Review. And then obviously COVID happened and we had to cancel that. So I was just like kind of rattling my brain, like freaking out. I'm like, oh my God, we're supposed to put out a record. Like we spent 2 years making this sucker. Like I just don't know what to do. And like everything was so fresh then. Like everyone was like nervous and freaking out. And like I think like when I think back to that moment when like everything shut down, and like the first thing I was thinking about was like the music. And then and then I was just like, I'm just gonna roll with it. I feel like everybody's home.
Yeah.
People are stressed. People need something peaceful and relaxing and also motivating. So I'm just gonna drop this bitch, and like I just let it go. I was like, I'm not gonna. Music is solace no matter when it comes out. So
Yeah.
it was weird. It was definitely like a weird thing to have happen, especially like in a global, view. It was not just like my personal experience.
Yeah.
Well, it's a really gorgeous album, so I'm glad that you did decide to give it to the people.
Thank you. Thank you.
Someone, we got a couple quick ones we can knock out before we get into the next part. Someone to know. Again, I feel like we get this one before. Someone know, what is your rainy day movie?
Ooh, rainy day movie. I feel like that's the only time I watch movies is like on rainy days. It's like I'm so busy working all the time. I wait for that like shit day to like kind of just get under my covers and watch like binge watch a lot of things. But it doesn't rain in LA, so that is kind of
Yeah.
No, it does not.
self-defeating. Wow, this is a tough one. I think like rom-coms are good for rainy days, right? Because it's like
Oh,
you
yeah.
need something to like boost your mood. So I'd
Mhm.
probably watch those. I don't know what in specific, but like I tend to watch a lot of sci-fi like driven movies and like future dystopian sort of vibe, like Interstellar or K-Pax. Like those are like my favorite movies.
K-Pax. I have not heard a K-Pax reference in years. My goodness.
I love it.
There should be more dystopian rom-coms.
I agree.
I can get on board with that. Like a You've Got Mail, but set in like post-apocalyptic.
I love
like,
that movie.
Cyberpunk.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's a great movie.
Kaylin, do you have a favorite rainy day? I forget if I've ever asked you this, been brought up on the show before.
You know, I do. I guess it's. I wouldn't say just like one. The one that I've been kind of wanting to watch lately. I'm waiting for a rainy day, I guess, is Titanic. Want to rewatch Titanic?
The water connection,
That-
rain,
Wait.
drowning people.
It's just such a great fucking movie.
It is.
And Romeo and Juliet is like stuck in my laptop forever because it just won't come out of my DVD drive. So I will say I watch that a lot.
Oh, that's
Oh, I have
so
a
good.
better answer. I have a better
Yeah,
answer.
yeah.
I just watched the Roland S. Howard documentary, Autoluminescent. I don't know if you guys have
Oh,
seen that, but that's a
I've not.
perfect rainy day doc.
Do you know what's
What
called?
is that about?
It's he used to play pre Nick Cave and the Bad
Yeah.
Seeds. He played with Nick, and they were in this band called The Birthday Party, and
Mhm.
they had a few other, and he did some solo stuff. But Autoluminescent is like a track off of one of his solo records.
Oh.
But it's a really, really heartbreaking doc, like because I feel like anyone who's an artist and knows the struggle and how it is to live your art, like you can relate to like the pain and like that this person went through. So it was just really enlightening and perfect rainy day, dark gothy,
Yeah.
Nice.
dark wave goodness.
I'm so I usually actually, it's so crazy. I usually have like this like crazy big like 3-inch button that he's on. It's just him that occupies it, and it's for the
Oh.
longest time it's sat right next to me while I do the show, actually right here, along with like another button, and I can't find it, so it means I probably knocked off the shelf.
Oh,
But yeah,
that's
he
cool.
shouts out. Okay, one final quick question. Someone wants to know, what is your favorite cheese? The hard hitting questions.
It's tough because you have like the more commercial answer, but then you have your more like artisanal answer.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well,
Like-
give us both. You can take one of each.
So like I love the texture of mozzarella, like fresh mozzarella, but I
Nice.
love like a good midnight moon goat cheese.
Oh, shit.
Something that's like dense and like sharp and kind of has like a earthy, groundy kind of undertone.
Is that a brand, or do they just specifically milk the goats at midnight under the moon?
That would be cool. No, that's what they call it. They call it midnight moon.
Oh, okay.
Whole Foods sells it. I don't know if I tried to like order it at another supermarket, and I was like, let me just go with this midnight moon name and see if it's a universal thing. And it is apparently, like,
Oh,
so yeah.
interesting.
I think you guys would like it. It's a good solid cheese that doesn't upset your tummy.
I like it.
Need
Kaylin,
those.
do you have your own kind of favorite cheese?
I'll follow the format and do my fancy answer, which is burrata. I love it with burrata.
Oh, that was gonna be mine.
Yes.
With some heirloom tomatoes, yeah, and basil, yeah, and I think my standard is cheddar, like what I always have in my fridge, and like what goes on most things for
Yeah.
me. Yeah,
My-
what
my
I'll just
sta-
eat by the brick.
By the break.
Buy the brick.
My standard, or like my more whatever you want to call it, like deli-esque choice is pepper jack. I fucking
Nice.
love pepper jack. All right. Well, that was the end of our questions portion. Now we are going to play. Whitney, we're going to play the classic game MASH. Do you remember MASH from your childhood? You ever play MASH where you find out if you're going to live in a mansion, apartment,
I
shack, or
actually
house?
never played that game, but I'm looking
Ooh.
forward to.
Oh, exciting. Well, right now we're going to go through the list. So I'm going to ask you for 3 crushes. So these can be celebrity crushes or they can be real life. But these are 3 potential people that you will end up with for eternity.
Shannon Sossaman,
Oh, nice.
Allison Lohman,
Nice.
and Johnny Depp. Actually, I'm sorry, Richard Gere. I'm changing that last one.
I don't know about Kaylin, so I shouldn't say we on the show, but I fucking love Richard Gere. Shouts out Richard Gere. Mothman Prophecies, Chicago.
That's my favorite movie. Oh my God.
Mothman Prophecies?
One of them, yeah.
Dude,
So
that
good.
scene when he when he turns over in bed and Deborah Messing's there, all fucking Will and Grace.
And that outro song by Low, yeah.
Holy shit, yeah.
I haven't seen it, so maybe I'll watch that on the next rainy
good
rainy
still,
day.
man. It's so
It really
creepy
gets
and
your
so
heart
good.
rate going. It's
Yeah.
a good one.
Okay, so can I get 3? These are going to be sort of like dream vehicles. It says cars, but we've opened it up to just dream vehicles that you could have for life. Any sort of mode of transportation.
I would like a Porsche. Maybe one of those like glittery bicycles like from the 90s.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
And maybe like a cloud float.
Ooh,
Nice.
I like that.
I messed up. I
Comfy.
forgot, but we didn't. We can still go back and change it really easily. I need also one less than ideal celebrity that you would end up with. Who's someone that you would not want to end up with?
Mick Jagger.
Dang. And then what is
Fair enough.
what is a less than ideal vehicle that you would drive?
Probably the one I used to have was like my Chevy Beretta.
All right. And okay, so the next one, can I please get 3 of your favorite colors and 1 of your least favorite colors?
Purple, turquoise, and emerald green.
Ooh, nice.
And my least favorite color, I would say, is like beige.
Ugh, get the fuck out of here, beige. Caitlin, isn't emerald green one of your faves?
Yep.
That's right. Numbers. Give me I pay attention. Whitney, let me hear 3 of your favorite numbers and 1 of your least favorite numbers.
3, 6, and 4.
Oh, the whole world thought you were going to say 9 on that next one, but you went with 4.
No, not predictable. And then my least favorite number would be 5. I don't know. It's not
All right.
doesn't excite me as a
Wow.
number.
Kick rocks 5. 5, you and Mick Jagger, stay home.
That's one of my lucky ones. I was born at 5:55 in May.
Oh, shit.
Oh. And May babies are the best too.
Okay, can I get 3 dream places that you would live or retire at?
French Polynesia,
Whoa.
Ooh.
Morocco,
Nice.
or Thailand.
All right. Whitney, Thailand. Could not
See what
could
I
not
did
help.
there?
could not help myself. And then what is like the least place you would be like, I absolutely hate that I retired here. Why did I decide
New
this?
Jersey.
New Jersey. Shouts
I
out.
lived there, so I can vouch for that. So.
Shouts out to the mayor of New Jersey, who's our guest, Ron, right after you. The mayor of
It's
all
not-
New Jersey. I don't know how
Not
that
a
works.
blind prejudice. It's an educated prejudice.
Yeah, exactly. 3 dream gigs or jobs.
To work with animals, like maybe some kind of zoologist or like crustacean or deep sea sort of thing.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to be a chemist when I was in high school.
Chemist. Okay.
Yeah, I loved chemistry. It was like one of my favorite subjects in school. And do we pick the job that we like, the one we're doing, like music? That's like my dream job.
Sure, yeah.
Okay, so
And
as
then
an artist,
what is, you probably already know where I'm going with this, but what is a number? I mean, a number. What is a job that you would absolutely detest to have?
I would hate working in like a factory where you're just kind of like cranking on a line all day. Like
Okay.
I don't like repetition. I feel like I would probably die there. So
Graham, right, factory / repetitious cranking. Whoa, everyone, get your heads out of here. Okay, I'm going to start drawing an E circle, let's call it, and you tell me when to stop.
stop.
Whoa. All right, gotta count these real quickly. And for the listener at home, Eric, which is me, I am counting the stuff here. We're going boom, boom, boom. Unfortunately, my app I used to do, unfortunately made it so that I have to do all this kind of old school style, but it's all right. It's all right. We're gonna live.
There's like a fly that's like attracted to my to my green light here, to my cactus.
Okay.
Wants to be on the show.
Are you ready to hear what the future holds for you?
Let's do it.
Well, Whitney, you are going to be enjoying a lovely life living in a mansion with Richard Gere. It's a beige mansion, but that's
No.
all right because you and Mr. Gere will be riding around on I guess it'll be a tandem glittery bicycle made for two lovebirds. And it will not just be you two, that's right. You'll have 3 children adorning you on your new life living in French Polynesia, where you will be living a life dedicated to the incredible work of being a repetitious, cranking factory line worker.
Oh no.
You win. This is truly one of those you win some, you lose
But
some.
you're just cranking Richard Gere's novel.
Yeah, exactly.
If it even works at that point in time.
I think that's where the repetition.
Hey, whoa, yeah. The man gave you 3 children. Obviously, something's still working.
The repetitiousness.
Yeah,
It might be broken after 3 children.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's a lot of work.
it is. All apologies, Mr. Gere. We hope that you're in working great condition over there, sir.
Me too.
Well, this has been so much fun, but we got one more thing for you, Whitney, if you have a little bit more time for us to get into. We close all of our shows with a personality quiz. We like to scour the depths of the internet to find some of the best and greatest personality tests. Typically, we find them made by what Caitlin and I are going to assume are tweens, young kids, probably on like a summer night.
In the mid-2000s.
Mid-2000s. This is like the ideal day, Caitlin. I found a good one. This was 2004, June 15th. So I have to imagine.
Oh yeah, school's out.
School's out. One of the first weekends or so of school. In fact, I looked it up, and I think that was like a Friday. I even looked it up. I was very curious.
Who's our quizmaster?
I'll do it this time, unless you'd like to. That's too late. Sorry,
I'm asking who made the quiz.
Developed by Sarah.
Okay.
Shouts out,
Nice.
Sarah. We see you.
Shouts out.
Whitney.
But I appreciate you being the quiz giver because Eric knows that there was a time period where like every single show he was making me do it. And by the end, I was just like, I'm just talking so much, Eric. I can't hear myself talk anymore.
It's all good. I've taken over for the time being. Whitney, your music has been described as space pop. And because of that, I wanted to find out if you are an alien. This personality quiz will determine whether or not you are a space alien. The description says, have you noticed a greenish tinge about you lately? Do you have pangs for the homeland where E.T. is watching? Have you ever wondered why people stared into your third eye? The answer is here. Take this quiz to find out if you are, in fact, an alien. All right. Are you ready to do this?
I am ready, and I am glowing in this green cactus.
You are,
I was
yeah.
gonna say you do have a green tinge.
Green glean. All right, let's get into this. Question 1. If you had a mode of transport, what would it be? A flying saucer, a Ferrari, a rocket, or police? I can telepathically transport myself already.
Telepathic all the way.
I knew it. That's how you got into the Zoom meeting.
It's exactly. It had nothing to do with an app and some kind of, unclicking of a video. It had nothing to do with that. It was all telepathic.
It's another
Absolutely.
struggling company. Shout out Zoom. If you want to get the premium membership.
Yeah. I have truly given Zoom all that one man can give. Question 2. What is your favorite TV show from this list, at least? Is it going to be Friends, Star Trek, The Simpsons? It says specifically the Halloween episodes of The Simpsons, or Dawson's Creek. It
Star
really
Trek.
does. Star Trek. All right. Beam me up, Scotty.
Yes.
So what do you do in your free time? I shop. I take pictures of balloons and tell people they are UFOs. I return to the mothership, or I moisturize. Green skin takes a lot of looking after.
I do moisturize a lot. So yeah, I've got to take care of this epidermis of
Yeah.
sorts.
Oh yeah.
What is your style? Jeans and a t-shirt. Whatever a celebrity is wearing. I don't need clothes. My skin is 1 inch thick. Or I dress similarly. I dress similarly to Spock.
I do wear a lot of skin tight bodysuits, so I'll say Spock.
Oh shit! All right. What is your favorite animal? Favorite spell with a U? UK, Sarah.
Ooh.
Xenon, the 2-headed 4-winged bird. Something wild and savage like a lion. Something exotic and strange like a gold-legged tree frog. Or anything cute and fluffy like a puppy.
I'm gonna go with Xenon because my dog's name is Xena, and I call her Xenon all the time. So that seems like the best answer.
Xenon was the girl of the 21st century, or whatever that was
Yeah.
titled. Which TV character can you relate most to? Oh boy, I've never even heard. Zebedee from the Magic Roundabout, Kodos from The Simpsons, Phoebe from Friends, or Winnie the Pooh.
I have to go with Winnie the Pooh. I don't know who any of those other
Me
ones
too.
are.
Well, I know who Phoebe is.
And I like snacks, so I mean, it's Winnie likes honey.
Yeah,
I like snacks.
one of my all-time favorite outfit choices: shirt and no pants.
Yeah,
That
he's
guy.
wearing a crop top all the time.
Yeah, just a crop top and like naked everything else, and just
Yeah.
like eating handfuls of honey. I'm like, that's me
He's
on
like
a Saturday.
happy twerking with a crop top.
Oh my god, that was literally my friend that I just took a vacation with. Like, it's just she will just eat like an entire jar of honey, and she just one of the mornings we woke up and we were sharing like a giant king bed, and like she got out of bed and she was just completely naked from the waist down. What the fuck is going on, man?
After hours exclusive.
She
Yeah.
gets it. She gets it.
She gets it. She's a free woman.
What is your favorite food? Compressed and liquefied mushrooms, broccoli,
Wow.
pizza, or I don't eat. I absorb energy from the sun. Photosynthesis.
I love mushrooms. I just don't like the way they described it, like compressed and liquefied. It sounded too clinical. Like
Yeah.
I'll go with mushrooms.
All right. What is your most complimented feature? Is it your hair, your cat yellow eyes, your butt, or your third head?
Yeah, probably my butt.
Fair enough. All apologies to your third head. If you were stranded on a desert island, what would you take? Your mobile. My integrated contacting system is all I need. Baked beans or a laptop.
What was the first one again?
Mobile, cell phone.
Hmm.
That Britishy way of saying it.
I'll do my mobile.
All right. And finally, oh, it literally says finally. Finally, what did you do? Why did you do this test? My friend showed it to me. This is my last chance. When my planet takes over yours, Earth, there will be no more tests. I like to laugh, ha ha, or this is a test, question mark.
This is a test, question mark.
All right. All right, let's put these results in.
Is it a beige result?
Well,
You are Richard Gere's wife.
it says
How
here
did
that
they know this?
Repetitiously cranking his knob until the end of time.
this is for real. The whole answer that was given on this, mind you guys. This is everything that they write down for this. You are almost an alien. With a little practice, you might grow an extra ear any day now. That's
Aw.
it. That doesn't even give a percentage or anything. Usually, I must say, it usually gives like a paragraph. There's percentages. All we got from this was that you're almost an alien with no. So you're getting close.
You know what? That's because I'm trying to hide my cover. So
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Sarah really phoned in the results
Yeah.
portion of the quiz.
You know what? She like at that point was like, because as we found out, it takes a lot of work to make these quizzes. Her and her friend had stayed up all the
Oh, yeah.
questions, all hyped up on the sugar, but then it like comes time to do that final thing to like actually give the results, and they're both crashed out. They're watching their, TV shows on their mobiles.
I do want to clarify. Eric says it takes a lot of work. It really doesn't. It takes like a mediocre effort. But for our anniversary episode, we made
You
quizzes,
bastard.
and Eric made one, and like he got it through to like the beta phase where we could take it on the show. But he literally got an email that they were like rejecting him from putting it on the website because they like have standards of quality standards. And what is ridiculous is we have taken so many horrible personality quizzes on this.
oh my gosh.
So
Yeah,
Eric
rest in peace, my quiz, which was, are you more of a Steve Vaughn or Vincent Vaughn? Stevie Ray Vaughan, rather. Well, the world will never know again. Only the people who are lucky enough to take our quiz. Winnie, we were lucky enough to have you be a guest on our show this evening. Take a look at that for segues. Thank you again for being on the show. Before we get going for the evening and say our goodbyes and all of that, is there anything that you'd like to plug or point people towards that are listening and watching the show right now?
Yeah, sure. We have, like earlier discussed, we have a new album out called Apogee. I'm currently working on my next record, so I'm kind of in writing mode. I'm hibernating like an alien bear, and and I will resurface once I've got some goods. I've got a really cool cover song coming out soon. It's pretty epic. I think you guys will really dig it, so I'm excited for that too.
Hell yeah.
I feel like I always, every time it comes to this question, I like forget shit, and I can't remember because I'm like so like I'm like so in this like weird sphere of just doing stuff, and I'm not like really checking in to be like, oh, schedules, like this has to happen. But yeah.
Well, anything that comes up, we'll make sure to promote it on the show and on the Instagram and all that as well. Especially this cover. I'm excited to hear what it is and hear it when it comes out. So we'll definitely plug that all up. Well, again, thank you so much for being a guest on our show this evening. That was an absolute blast. We will definitely have to have you back on again. And as always, Caitlin, thank you for being the co-host with the Mo-host. And yeah, we finally got to meet each other. So thank you for being the friend with the hand. I don't know. I'll think of a new one on that one.
Sure. Yeah. No, one of these days we're going to get a Polaroid that isn't just darkness of us together, and it'll be great.
And the world will be right.
I'll have to take the picture to make sure it gets done.
Yeah. We'll just take a Polaroid of the Zoom chat, basically.
Yes.
All
this
right.
was so much fun, guys. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much for being a guest on the show. I'm going to say goodnight, y'all. Good night, Winnie. Good night, Caitlin. You guys
Bye,
have
guys.
yourself a good rest of your
Bye.
evening.